This is the show where we talk about Bitcoin ordinals, everything going on in the Bitcoin ecosystem. It's brought to you by Ninja Alerts. We actually are having our snapshot very soon. I have a stacked out panel tonight, so I won't do a very long intro to this. And our topics are going to be pretty clear because it's been quite the week for Bitcoin. So just like we do on Not Financial Advice, which is the Twitter spaces that I'm sure most of you up here are familiar with, we like to do a little segment called What's Up. It's not very complicated. We each go around like a circle and basically, what's up? Go ahead and introduce yourself. What recently maybe trades you doing, what you're working on, what you're building, whatever you want to talk about. I'll go ahead and start with Ashley because she's right next to me. So what's up, Ashley?
Hey, this is Ashley Decan. For those that don't know me, I have primarily been into ETH and Sol. Kind of have dabbled into the Ordinals, did my pizza video, did my shower, all those fun things. I was telling everybody before we started that I ended up selling a lot of my assets like ETH, Bitcoin, Solana before the pump. I usually don't do that very often, but I didn't time it great. I thought I was going to I don't know. So yeah, that's my trades right now, unfortunately.
I mean, to be fair, we didn't move for such a long time. And then just like it seemed pretty suddenly because we had the fake news with Cointelegraph like a week before. And then it just kind of like it gave us like some hopium and then just like went straight back down. So it seemed like a very, very random time.
Yeah, it really did. It's just it's sad, but yeah, I'll get back. Hopefully we'll be a little bearish. I don't know. I'm hoping, but not for y'all if y'all have bags.
Sure, they definitely do. So we'll go on to the next person. Adam, what is up, Adam?
Hey, man. What's up today? I don't know. I'm talking a lot about real world assets, and the tokenization of real world assets has been popping up on the timeline. We just had a space today talking to like the guys from like Courtyard who do like the Pokemon drops. Yeah, they've been doing really, really awesome. But a couple other ones. I mean, we were talking about this stuff on Bitcoin back in like the colored coin days. And so it's exciting that this stuff is like finally becoming a reality, which is amazing, right? It's like you talk about something a decade ago and finally the tech meets the kind of, the market is ready for it. And I think in a lot of ways, that's what's happened with Ordinals, which is pretty awesome. It's like the Bitcoin community was ready for Ordinals to happen. And so that's why it's pretty exciting to me.
And Magic Eden also just did their version of the Courtyard Pokemon cards as well. I thought that's really cool, like the tokenization of real world assets. Do you have like an example of like what Ordinals is going to be doing with it, like particularly, or do you have something in mind?
It's actually a challenge. I think Ordinals has a bit of a challenge. One of the nice things about if you're doing it on Ethereum or Polygon or whatever is you have the smart contract functionality already built. It's already built in, and so Ordinals are at somewhat of a disadvantage just from a development standpoint, I think, in a way. And so we'll see how it goes. I mean, look, this is still, even now with the success of Pokemon cards, there's still so much. I mean, I literally have people in my DMs. It's like, no, we're going to tokenize everything in the world, right? And so if you look at it that way, you can still say, well, we still are very much in early days.
Okay, man, love to hear it. I'm going to move on to Nick. What's up, Nick? With Gamma, we've had Eli Herf on here a few times. Always a great time for Eli to join us. So hopefully you can fill in those shoes, man.
Yeah, it's big shoes to fill. He's also, and he's like calling in right early in the morning because for him it's probably about I don't know, like 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. or something for him. So yeah, no, I'm happy to be here. What's up? Yeah, just keeping up with all the the happenings in the space. We also just announced yesterday we're going to be doing first ever event for Ordinals at Art Basel, Miami, and so we're doing that. We actually partnered with a couple of other really great sort of companies, brands, Nulcha Shows, who does really amazing immersive parties, but also conference style events as well. And then also with the Inscribing Amsterdam, which just rebranded to Inscribing Atlantis for assisting on the programming side. So it'll be a really fun time, and hope to see people in Miami.
I hope to make it back this year, man. I really had a good time last year despite being like super sick. I got my gallbladder out like 2 weeks after Miami last year. So I was like nauseated the entire time. I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink. So it was, fun time. But as far as like meeting everybody and like Art Basel itself, it was super cool. And yeah, like I'm really like wanting a redo. Is it anybody on the panel go to Bitcoin Amsterdam or plan on going to Art Basel?
I'm going to Breakpoint, so not Bitcoin Amsterdam, but I am going to Art Basel. I never miss Art Basel.
Oh, you were there last year?
Yeah, I was there last year and the year before. Like that's the event that I go to because it's literally the best one of the year, especially if you're like all about social connection and parties and like fun things to do. Like that's the place to go.
I had no idea.
We gotta hang out. You gotta come
Yes.
to our event on the 7th. We're also involved in the event the night before Nolcher's doing on the 6th. So it'll be two nights of parties and a conference. It'll be great.
Oh, I'm down.
So what was your like top two either like parts of Art Basel or parties last year, Ashley?
One of the ones like that I loved the most was Trippy Labs. Trippy Labs, they had the most spectacular venue. I think they have the same one for this year. It was like an open door. There was a lot of art, a lot of different blockchains involved. That's like literally probably my favorite way to spend like the night. Anytime I'm at Art Basel. The Bored Ape Yacht Club one was pretty good. Like when you got over like waiting in line for 2 hours. So that one was really good. It just was a lot, honestly, it's hard to rate a lot of them because like I always tell everybody when I go to Miami, I wake up at 10 a.m. and then I don't go to bed until 6 a.m. because it's like literally going to all these events. I can't even remember half of the ones that I ended up going to.
Yeah, like I said, I was super sick, so I don't really either. I remember the Nifty, our NFT morning show, they had one that was pretty cool. They had like, you always make a GM tweet about tacos on Tuesdays. They had theirs like with tacos and tequila. It was really fun. And a couple of others. But like I said, I was so sick.
Didn't Pepe have like a yacht? Didn't they have rent? Did you go? Any of you go on the Pepe yacht?
No, I did not.
No Pepe yachts. Oh.
But it was really cool. Got a lot of merch. Still got like a MetaMask jacket from that. Yeah, just
nice.
For 10 out of 10, if you're watching this, I would recommend going to Art Basel. Really hoping to make it back this year. There's just so much to do. But we haven't got to Charlie yet. The man he's not going out tonight. He's just dressed up for this show. That's okay, Charlie. We love it here. We accept it, t-shirts to dress up. So what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Glad to be back. No, I got the shirt. I think a lot of people think of me as like the Bitcoin guy, but I have a few side businesses. My wife and I run some resale vintage stores and photography studios. So I've got the whole, resale vintage wardrobe. So, I don't even have to go out. This is just what I wear for a normal work day. Yeah. Or if I go to Miami. Actually, I think I did wear the shirt in Miami.
That is a very Miami look.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, it's my goal to be, if you've seen like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, I want to be Hunter S. Thompson.
Oh, hell yeah.
So he's like my rock star. Yeah. So there's not a lot of Bitcoiners who would say that, right? Because that's kind of an edgy kind of take on American culture. And I think that's why I find myself as like your resident Bitcoin guy who's into ordinals and inscriptions. And dare I say it, I've also enjoyed NFTs for several years. I've just not been super public about it. Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. I feel like I learned in Art Basel last year too, that like if you're going to try to talk to investors, LPs, or like, I guess some founders, It's like pretty much like a similar style to what you're wearing, but you got to have a vest with it too, or else like you're not going to make that, strong connection. You got to have a vest. Trevor
Dude, the
specifically
more
had one.
boilerplate and like embroidered the vest is, the more money.
Yeah, that's what it
fund
was.
has.
Like
It's
Trevor
just like
literally
it's a
had
direct.
had an embroidered vest last year, and
Come on.
he had a couple of backed
Oh
up
my
flower
gosh.
shirts.
Oh yeah.
Is that true? Is that actually true? That's real. That's real. Embroidery is happening.
It's just a
You wore
linear.
that at Art Basel?
I don't know. I haven't been to Art Basel yet, but I'm kind of 50-50 on going this time. I don't know. I've been traveling so much. I don't know if you guys remember this, but like if you just like roll back through the travel schedule for Ordinals related stuff this year, there was ETH Denver, there was Consensus, NFT NYC, Miami. I have some other like mining conferences thrown in there. We had Amsterdam. So I don't know. My liver can only take so much more, is all I'll say.
Dude, I feel you. I went to all of those events plus NFT LA before as well. And like I'm telling you, like you won't regret going. And just focus on like, I don't know, there's other things outside of alcohol.
That's true. Yes.
So
Like weed and mushrooms or what?
No.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
Amsterdam.
That was Amsterdam, exactly.
I was watching the last Bitcoin Ordinals banter because I was out last week for a financial content creators conference, which was a ton of fun. I try to talk to everybody about Bitcoin because they were like very like financial advisors, tax advisors, like very like
The
don't
suits.
touch crypto. Yeah, like flower that plus the vest wouldn't have worked for them. You got to have a 3-piece.
There's like a curve. Like you make so much money, and then you get to a certain point, and you're wearing suits, and then you start wearing normal T-shirts again.
Right, then you go back.
Yeah, so I'm dressing for the job I want.
I love it. We also got Belle that joined. I'm trying to find out without like messing around too much. I could pop her up like this.
There she
Maybe
is.
we'll move to this style. Belle,
There we go.
how's your Ordinal collection going? Put her on the spot. Oh no, we can't hear you.
Oh no.
There you are. No, there you're not yet.
Can't hear you. I'm just gonna leave you. I'm gonna commit to this, Belle. You gotta.
We need
you
lip
got
readers. She
this.
says it's going great. She owns 100 OMBs, 10 Tapper Wizards.
Wow,
and-
that's amazing. Where
Wow,
did
she
you
already
get
got
those?
Taproots.
Wow, yeah.
I made my video.
I
I made
haven't
my
even
video
gotten
like 2 years
Taproot
ago.
yet. Yeah, literally.
Wait,
Are they
10
ever-
Tapper Wizards? No.
That's so great. All right, Belle, go to your settings at the bottom right, go to audio, and you should be able to select the input device, and that should hook you up. And I'll
Can you hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, there you go.
So,
There
yeah,
we
we
go.
can hear you.
Awesome.
You were at Art
Thank
Basel last
thank
year.
you. I was at Art Basel last year, and I'm going this year. Got
Ayo.
everything ready to go. I'm super excited. Looking forward to it. The only thing that I hate about this entire space is that you never have like your schedule ahead of time. You know, it's 3 weeks before the date that you actually start to have all of the smaller events. The bigger events, you kind of know a month ahead of time, not even all that long beforehand. But I don't know. I'm trusting that everybody to get it together a couple of weeks before, and we'll be able to have a good itinerary. But I'm super excited for it. Super excited. Is everybody here going? No, I'm late to the chat.
Yes.
Awesome. Woohoo!
Gonna try.
Adam, what about you? I haven't heard. Are you going? Adam?
Oh, you're talking. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to get out of going to everything right now. I'm just like,
Yeah.
man, I've had enough. I've traveled so much over the last like 2 years in crypto. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm done for a bit.
Done.
And I'm pretty sure if Adam went to a conference, every podcast RSS feed would just die overnight. I think he runs the entire pod. I think he runs iTunes.
I'm just like, I might go to Miami because it's easy for me. 'Cause I'm in Costa Rica, so it is like the easiest trip on earth for me. But yeah, I'll probably go to Miami, but that'll be it for me. Yeah.
How long is the flight, Costa Rica
It's-
to Miami?
It's close. It's like 2.5 hours. Yeah, it's super
Nice.
easy. Yeah.
All right, well, Adam, I'll entice you right now. We'll add you as a speaker if you can commit right now. But you have to. This is like the Mark Cuban, like you have to agree in the next
gotta-
like 10 seconds.
You're in or you're out.
And you're banned from being a speaker.
All right, I'm
if
in.
you're not.
I'm in.
All right, nice.
They always drag you back.
If Gamma flies him there,
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about
you
that.
give me my booking fee
Private
later.
jet. I
Adam.
only fly private, Gamma. Gamma goes first class all the way.
I saw that Gamma already scheduled an event, right?
Yeah. I'm with Gamma. That's why we're
Yeah,
talking
that's
about
what I'm
Yeah.
confirming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I thought I saw it
Can
come
you,
through
can
the
you talk
screen.
about that while you got the stage, Nick? Like a little bit more detail about
Sure.
the Gamma's event?
Yeah, so it's going to be really great. We've sort of been working on it for probably almost like 2 months now. But it's funny. I like Belle. You were talking about not seeing things like announced until sooner. We actually were like talking and we're like, can't announce it too soon. Like it's then people like forget about it. So I think we're one of the earlier ones, being what, like 6 weeks before. But anyway, no, it's going to be really great. We're going to have a daytime conference. There's going to be, sort of like morning time kind of meet and greet with artists and collectors. That'll be for, we're doing this collector's edition ticket, which I can, briefly talk about. But so we'll have that in the morning. Then we'll have daytime conference. It's going to be, panels and talks and fireside chats and things. We're also going to then have lunch and then continue into the afternoon, and then around 6 o'clock we'll break for networking, and so we'll have little some cocktails and sort of networking with everyone from 6 to 9, and then at 9 p.m. we'll start the after party. And Nolcha shows, who we're working with, they are like just top notch. I don't think there is anyone better at the party scene than they are. Last year, their event at the SLS Hotel at Art Basel was so packed outside that the fire department had to come and like break up the outdoor area because it just got completely wild. I think there were like 2,500 people there. They have masquerade dancers and people doing like these crazy dances, and they have mermaids swimming in the pool, and they just do like these really outrageous fun things. So yeah, it'll be full day of events. And yeah, we have this collector's edition ticket that is actually sold as an ordinal, as a print on Gamma. And when you buy this print, it's by this incredible artist. His name is Waxbones, who some of you may know. He's a great creator on ETH and elsewhere. He's on Super Rare, and he has created these beautiful Miami inspired tickets for the event. And so you'll get the digital ordinal like original, and then we're actually flying him out to the event, and he'll be there to hand sign and number a physical print that matches the digital print that you get. The original, of course, being on Bitcoin, and then the copy being the physical print that gets claimed. And
Wait, what's the date for this? What's the date
this
for
is
this?
this is December 7th. Oh yeah, well yeah.
Okay.
Now that you're confirmed as a speaker, you better get it locked down.
Actually, like I was like, God, don't let it be on Thanksgiving. I'm already got like plans. I'm already traveling. That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
what's the I should probably know this. I feel like some of you are gonna laugh at me, but like, what is the verification process for events for ordinals? Because like for ETH, it's more like what, contract based, or like you could use like a delegate wallet. Like, are you able to like kind of do the same with ordinals, or like do we just need to have Xverse with that NFT on our phone? Or
No, so we're gonna, yeah. This is sort of like logistics with this kind of stuff is always like a big one to kind of figure out. We can kind of go one of two routes. We're not going to have the NFT at the door. It's just going to be like too much of a hassle. So we'll basically have a page where you can off that you own this, and then can claim like a Web 2 style, maybe like an Eventbrite or something like that ticket. And there is a potential way that we could do it actually, with Matrica has like an events tool that we're looking into that looks like it could be a promising option. Like obviously, if we can keep it more like sort of like Web3-esque. I know some people don't like that term, but we'll certainly try. But yeah, that's the goal.
This is actually a really interesting topic. I don't know if a lot of people talk about it. I'm pulling up a card on my desk here. Okay, so I've got here. It's funny you bring this up because this is an idea I've been workshopping. I'm just gonna talk about while you brought it up. As far as like IRL authentication, so there's like various like either tap sign or seed sign or cards.
Mhm.
One is made by CoinKite, but then there's others, and you can basically sign messages with the private key that would also sign for that inscription, which resides on an ordinal in the address that you have. So theoretically, you could like mail these cards to people, put your like logo on the front or something.
Bro, you're
right?
burning Nick's brain right
But
now.
then you,
that's
Dude,
very
this shit is
cool.
so cool. Like,
you would have to KYC
And then what? Do like an
then.
NFC tap on the way in, kind of a thing.
it is, yeah. You can do an NFC like
Nice.
signing tap, and it's really cool. This is entirely possible. Someone is going to do this, and if you want to do this, hit me up. Or hit
Those
up Nick.
cards,
Honestly, just
listen,
hit all of us
listen,
up, and
If
we'll
you
look
want
flat.
to, if you want to put this together, I'll give you a free sponsorship. if you build this, it's probably not worth the effort. But
Dude,
like,
this is one of those
I
things where
think,
like,
I think we can make that work.
oh no, this is one of those things where like, okay, there's these legacy Bitcoiners, right? And they've spent the past 5 years like battle hardening all the cool ideas, but not
Yeah.
actually using them. And so now we get to come in and we're like, okay, what have you guys been working on the past half decade? Oh, this is actually really cool. Too bad you don't want to use it for NFTs. We're gonna use it. It's actually really fucking cool to like put the shit on a card and like,
Yeah.
and you don't even have to have the actual NFT on a card. You just have to have the private key, which you signed for. And that's like,
So does it like scan on like your phone, like so you hold it up to your phone or something?
you could do a QR code. I would recommend this one has an NFC chip in it. So it's,
cool.
you know, you just kind of wave it over an NFC
That's like
scanner.
by the Open Dime people, right?
Yeah, same Open Dime people.
Very
I mean, it's a
similar.
great company.
Yeah.
But they're like they're very focused on like a very purist kind of like security minded version of Bitcoin, which is great, which means we can pervert it for our own NFT use and do cool shit like IRL confirmation at parties, which I think is just one of the coolest
Listen,
things.
I would
Yeah,
love that. I think some people won't like the give us your address to mail you a card
Oh,
aspect
yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we couldn't do like a, like an actual proof of attendance that
Yeah.
cannot be scammed.
Well, what you could do,
physically get this.
what you could do, Nick, is the other way. The person buys their ticket, they get a
Mhm.
Web 2, entrance, whatever.
Right.
And when they show up, that's when they get the SATs card, like
Right.
Charlie was just showing. Those things are pretty cool. I gave away, I worked with an artist, Jeffrey Allen Scudder, when I
Mhm.
went to, what was it, like ETH Talent or whatever this past year. And we gave away 50 of those cards. So he had done a unique ordinal on each one. And I put them on each card. It was a pain in the ass. So if Charlie's got to do it, he can do it. It's a bit of a pain. But I put the ordinal on each one, right? Or I had him mint the ordinal or inscribe the ordinal directly into the card. And then I just passed them out in Tallinn, and it's awesome, right? Because we know most of the people are going to like throw them away. But then eventually, like 10 years down the road, they're going to go, what about that Jeffrey Allen Scudder thing that Adam did? And there's going to be like the lost Scudders, and there's going to be like 10 of those things floating around. And who knows? Maybe they'll be
Oh my
valuable.
gosh, it's like the Cassation.
I've seen it like this that I got here. I got this at a party like you're talking about.
Oh, that's cool.
It's from the Cupcake Protocol, and they were doing a Bitcoin Ordinals drop. And it's like you hold it up to your phone, and it drops the asset into a wallet that it creates for you.
What?
That is really
That's
cool.
that's
For
awesome.
you. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And they had it in this treasure chest. So they were walking around, like one guy had a treasure chest, and he would select certain people, and you'd be like, here you go, choose one of these. So it's like super exciting.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome. So, Adam, were people excited? Like, were they happy to have a physical
Oh my God.
object,
Like,
or were they
literally,
like,
like,
yeah,
when
I
I-
want one more?
I did like my talk, and I was like, hey, and if you hit me up after, it's like you get completely mobbed because everybody loves, the free stuff. But I know the way it works, right? I'm thinking about it like the Lost Robbies and Robbie Barrett,
Mhm.
NFTs from, 2020 or 2019, whatever, where most people, they get home and they forget about it. They lose it. Right. And I specifically didn't tell people how to get it off the card. I was like, oh, I'll tell you later. I'll do a post on how to get it off the card later. So I know people aren't going to move it and stuff. And so, I just think it's a really cool way. It's a bit of a throwback way to hand out, art. It's really, really cool. And it's got a great history in NFTs for actually passing out art that way. I think is really cool. And it gives something, physical that people can hold. They love that.
They actually did I won't say who this was because I think they want to like keep it under wraps. But Charlie, you were there at Amsterdam like the one night there was a project that sort of was like trying to share what they're working on, and they gave everybody a Sats card with what will be a custom one of one. Like you can reach out and ask them for custom one of one, so that it's actually like an empty card right now, but they have the addresses, and so they'll basically airdrop the item later. To be honest, like it was a project that I would not have otherwise been like interested in, but now I'm like intimately interested in like getting my custom one of one. So I think it was like marketing well done.
Oh,
Very
I
cool.
feel you, Nick. I mean, think about it. Like, so it kind of the Web 2, Web 3 crossover is a really interesting idea because, like, how do you do Web 3 events IRL? And because you're like, you have a limited amount of people you can get into a room. You have real logistical challenges. But think about it. If you have an event, especially if you're talking an Ordinals event at this type of period in the adoption curve, it's highly concentrated with the people who like you want to see your stuff. So if you're able to get your stuff in the hands of the people, it's like you have the most highly concentrated like user base and mind share in that room. So this is like I'm looking at IRL events and I say there is this, like we talk about the PFP being this like the it's your foot in the door, it's your personality online, but then I also like it almost in a way it actually enhances the IRL meetup because like the people who actually fly or travel to these events are going to be just the most perfect self-selected group of people you want to be interacting with. I mean, that's the whole point of the PFP, right? Is to like develop your own social circle. And this is like bringing that social circle to you. So, man, I mean, if I were a project launching and I were looking at the physical and digital, I would be looking at these IRL events, the Art Basel, the next Inscribe Amsterdam, Miami, or Atlantis series. I don't know. I've fallen in love now that I get to finally come out as an NFT enjoyer who also likes Bitcoin. I'm just like having the time of my life.
I love it, man. I need to convince Trevor to either throw a pizza party or maybe we can do something physical, or I could bring some of the coffee bags that I have branded with the Ordinals coffee at Art Basel, but I'm not really sure the entire plan for the Ninja Alerts team at Art Basel this year. I wanted to mention last year, I remember, and I know some of you probably did the same. I was so excited because like when I first got there, I saw like a Porsche outside of like one of the NFT places, and I was like, whoa, that's cool. Like Porsche's like creating an NFT. And like I went in and they had like these like little collector like Porsches, and you could like choose a style, and I was like, oh, it's so like I'm so excited because like I'm here. It like apparently like the physical is related to the mint, and they dropped the mint like a couple months later, and it was like ridiculously priced for the market. Like you didn't get like hardly any type of like utility or artwork with it whatsoever, and like didn't end up selling out. I was like, oh, what a letdown. So did anybody else get one of those Porsches last year at Art Basel?
I didn't get a physical Porsche, but I did get the Porsche NFT, and like after the fact. And then I'm not really like a flipper, but it was like I actually did flip it, and I made a little.
Oh, look at you! Well, it's because they cut supply, so that's the only reason it went up is because they literally cut the supply in half. It was like the standard like, oh gosh, we didn't sell out, now we got to cut the supply in half.
I forgot all about that, honestly.
I'll never forget.
I faded it so hard, and then when it went up, I was like, of course is the one.
I mean, I didn't mint it, and I had the like actual like physical Porsche to mint it with, but I didn't end up doing it. But yeah, we definitely need to try. I wish Trevor was on tonight. We definitely need to try to have a pizza party in Miami, because I don't know, we haven't announced our mint date yet, but I know we'll be done with a lot of our like publicly announced roadmap. So I don't know, run it by him.
Yeah.
But
the pizza party.
That's a really good idea.
On the next section, been a great conversation about IRL events, and I'm glad that like pretty much everyone in here has like had experience with them. I've really liked mine, and I really hope I can make it to Miami this year. Topic this week, Bitcoin broke 35K, and we kind of talked about it a little bit before, but it's interesting because last week the fake news dropped about the BlackRock ETF via Cointelegraph like mess up, and that we obviously like kind of went past 30, then and then back down, I don't know, to 27, 28. But this week, like complete change up. Looks like things are getting more official. I actually talked to some of the people on the team at iShares at this content creator conference I went to, and I was like asking them about the BlackRock ETF and stuff, and it was a lot of fun. I'll give an initial thought and then like leave it to the panel because you guys probably know a lot more about this stuff. But initial thought, it looks like we're seeing like a pretty clear decoupling from the S&P 500, which is a pretty good thing for Bitcoin to like not just like follow the S&P 500 around, but it's kind of more of a de-risk asset in times of uncertainty. And second, we're actually seeing the possibility, like a stronger possibility of a Bitcoin ETF, specifically with iShares or BlackRock. Both those things to me seem exciting because like while obviously like nobody has a crystal ball and it's like, oh, this is the start of something huge, it still seems like steps in the right direction and like genuine growth for like Bitcoin adoption. But what's your thoughts?
Damn.
Anyone?
No,
Bueller? Go ahead.
Never go up. I'll chime in on this one. I'm not a macro guy. I'm a Bitcoin guy. I've learned to kind of stay in my lane. A lot of Bitcoin people like to LARP macro. I'm not one of those people. I can comment on this. Look, a lot of people ask me, oh, is this news bearish or bullish for Bitcoin? And I like to say it totally depends on whether we're in a bull or bear market. Like it seems to me like it's irrelevant whether the news is good or bad. But when I see like the market, we've been in a bear market, and then any news comes out and the price shoots up, I say, regime change. The meta is different now. We are no longer down only. It is time to put on your bull pants. A lot of us have been kind of waiting for that shot across the bow, and I think this is it. I'm turning into bull mode, posting Charlie. I hope you got your sleep because man.
Get ready. I hope you bought your bags.
Well, it's never too late.
Ashley's ready for straight bull. Like she never comes back down.
Played the game,
only.
man. You don't trade. Never trade. You buy what you buy and you step the fuck away because you are not smarter than the market.
Yo, just DCA and ape inscriptions and DCA Bitcoin. That's the simple path to wealth and happiness.
Well, I mean, a lot of the conversations that I've seen on X over the last couple of days in regards to ordinals were this idea of like, well, should I buy ordinals or should I buy Bitcoin? And I think, kind of universally people would say in the Bitcoin space, well, you want to have a nice bag of Bitcoin before you go out and buy some ordinals, but I think what Chris was saying about the decoupling, we certainly haven't seen that, right? There aren't many assets or any assets that really truly decouple. And so, I think it's a hope and a dream of Bitcoin. And certainly within the fiat system, if it continues to go the way it's going, maybe we will get that decoupling. But it's always thrilling. Like, look, we've suffered, we're here. And those of us who could kind of have some fun and shoot out some memes last night about it, that's from a lot of suffering. So I give us all credit for, we should be able to enjoy it and have some fun. None of us are selling our bags when it goes up. But it's fun to see it go up because it just reaffirms, that we're in this and this thing is going to actually work. And, it makes us all feel good, at least for a couple of days.
Ashley, I have to say though,
I'll jump in. I mean,
go ahead, Bill.
I was just gonna say, I'll jump in and say that it feels really freaking good, right? I mean, it feels amazing to have this moment, and it's not a told you so moment. It's a reassurance moment for everybody who's here, right? I posted my GM this morning, very tongue in cheek, but also really true of like GM, everybody who's back from. Jumping from crypto to AI and back in the game, right? Literally.
Damn, Bill.
Everyone's got whiplash after that AI to crypto.
Literally, this last night, and somebody replied and they were like, what about the growth hackers? I was like, yes, them too.
The growth hackers, that's right. That's the other big one.
I want to see more VC threads on crypto.
They came back real quick.
Yeah.
They came back super quick. So I think it's hilarious. And that's what we continue to see, right? But it feels really freaking good to be like, all right, we were here at the bull. We're here. We're still here, and haven't gone anywhere. And so I feel under as I always have, but still that, I've been DCA I've been really good at it, been steadily doing it, etc. But when these opportunities come up, these moments come up, you feel even more underexposed than you did like ever. And somebody posted about it, and I thought that's a really good point. I think maybe it was Zeneca or somebody, and it was like, all right, during these moments of your FOMO. I mean, if we feel it and we do have exposure to it, imagine the people that don't, that have just been kind of listening, kind of crypto curious, not really sure, and they get in, and this is where they get completely wrecked, right? Everybody who has been holding for so long, who felt the need to sell, sells prematurely or doesn't. And it just, it's such an opportunity to get completely screwed in a lot of different ways because the FOMO sensation does it for you. So even if I felt it again with having exposure to it, I can only imagine how bad it is for somebody that does it or that has way too much exposure in the space. So anyway, those were some thoughts that, you know, the feed, I was like, yeah, that's actually a really, really good point. But it feels really freaking good to wake up and to say, yep, been preaching about this for a long ass time. And I hate to say I told you so, but you know, others, I told you
I
so.
love it, Bill. I want to speak to the underexposed, or like underexposure. So I was like having a conversation about this last night because I'm in a Discord call, and there's some people in the call that's like, "Yeah, just my portfolio just went up $300,000 in the last like 10 minutes," and I'm just like, "This is like even if it was like a like bull, this isn't necessarily life changing for me in the fact of my investment." But of my like time and my like exposure to the ecosystem and to like credibility, like there's a lot of other angles than just like I have this much money, now it's going to be this much money. It's like I'm not a lunatic who's been like putting the time and work and effort in during this bear market. Like there's a lot more credibility towards that. There's a lot more liquidity flowing in for more opportunities, more jobs, more development, more building. So I was going to mention you earlier, Ashley, is that like you mentioned like you sold, but like you're a content creator with a strong following right now in the bear market. So like hypothetically, if you had zero crypto and zero NFTs, like there's so much opportunity to create content and ethically like monetize like a following. Like there's a ton more opportunity when there's more people that care about the thing. So for me, it's like, yeah, it's not like that 10% is going to change my life, but it's going to present a lot more like opportunity, credibility, and just it feels good.
Yeah, I mean, I've been around since early bull 2021. I've seen a lot. Like I haven't seen probably as much as a lot of you guys that have been here since before that, but I don't know. It is cool to see the market have this kind of like hype again. Like I haven't seen this in a long time where people are like, they're super excited. And, I was running a space last night and somebody was like, why are we talking about drama? Let's talk about coins. Let's talk about everything. And like, it was just like it was back in the day. And I'm like, man, I miss that. I miss waking up and being like, what's the next shit coin or what's the next, coin we're going to get into. It's been really fun. And I hope the vibe stays up, even though I'm not where I want to be, like position wise. I'm still hoping for like a little downtrend, but we'll see. It doesn't always go my way.
Yeah, I would say like I'm kind of I'm like a serial optimist, so I'm certainly like long-term permeable. But I also like not at all to contrast any of the bullishness here. But like I don't know, I feel like nobody knows what the hell they're doing or what they're talking about when it comes to this stuff, and I am not at all convinced that this is like a bit like a crazy bull like coming on. Maybe it will be, and that would be great. But like I don't know, I think we're going to see a lot of volatility. That could mean lower lows from here than we saw before, or that could mean crazy highs.
Wait, lower lows or higher highs, whichever.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we have no idea. We have no idea. Like so I don't know. That's sort of my take. I think anyone who like claims to be able to like sort of read the candles, I think they like they enjoy doing that. But so I don't know. I think like my strategy is always like DCA and just kind of I'm not going anywhere. So this does make me happy, and it's like a nice thing to wake up to. But I also like if tomorrow we wake up and it's back at 20K or something, like, that's not changing my my long-term, perma bullishness.
Yeah, I mean, I think the standard good advice is anybody who thinks they're going to get rich trading is insane. Like nobody
Yeah.
gets rich. Like literally nobody gets rich trading crypto or anything. I mean, it's like you're better off. Your odds are better just walking down to the corner store and buy yourself a lottery ticket because that's probably better odds. The rest of us, we buy, what we can and we work, get jobs, and hopefully you can get jobs in crypto and Web3. I mean, that's what we're all kind of here for, right? So.
That's
Oh,
the
I'm
alpha.
with you, Adam.
Yeah.
No, I'm totally with you. I feel like you can DCA all day, which is a good rule of thumb, right? But like, how do you actually provide value? Take whatever skill set you have, either technical or non-technical, or anything along the spectrum, and just grind. Figure out how to contribute. And then I like to add my own little flavor in, which is pursue your interests because this is such a rapidly moving and just expansive space and industry. There's going to be so many like little niches that form, and the most powerful thing you can do is to just be genuinely into whatever you're building or whatever you're doing. Like you cannot fake like genuine interest, and so that's like the obsessed and the kind of like a hyper focus tend to like eventually, if you keep your head in the game, you'll eventually find your niche. I mean, that's how I was. I've been in this mining space for over half a decade, and I'm a little operations, but I never really kind of found a public voice until about a year ago, and that is not through something I ever anticipated. And here I am. I think a lot of us are. I think a lot of us in the Ordinal space are. We were kind of like grinding in our little like corner, and then during the bear market, unexpectedly, what our own natural interests and curiosities led us to were the thing that kind of drove and lifted all of the boats that rising tide. So yeah, I mean, you could DCA, but find out a way to like contribute, even if you're not making any money today. Hang in there.
DCA yourself.
DCA your brain.
Well, that is a good strategy, and you might work for years when you're DCAing for yourself. That's for darn sure.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I do tell when I advise kind of young people what they're doing, and they want to do whatever they want to make YouTube videos or be podcasters or whatever. And I've advised a lot, and I'm like, but you got to be ready to work for years for nothing, right? Which I did myself, and a lot of people. I'm sure Ashley wasn't making money as a content creator out of the gate, right? This takes years of work and effort, and that's just the way it is. There is no way around that. But you provide
many
value.
years, many hours a day, literally your whole life.
Literally your whole life. Your whole life. I mean, it's just there's no way around it. That's the way it is. And is there any other way we'd want it to be? Right. So it's awesome. I love it.
But hey, for encouragement for anybody that's watching that doesn't have a job, I was making content for years, like short server to crypto, similar to Ashley, early 2021. And I was just doing a podcast at the time, and I had this Anon named Trevor Owens on my podcast. He liked it so much, he later hired me on Ninja Alerts. Now I'm working for Ninja Alerts, and I'm working for Bitcoin Frontier Fund, Trevor's Fund, which we have our accelerator going on right now. There's a plug right there. It ends in 1 week for anybody that's building on stacks, ordinals, rootstock, anything. 1 more week, 100K in funding, access to our mentors, which I think some might be up here right now. But anyways, I was literally just doing a podcast, and Trevor liked me enough to pick me up on the team, and here I am. So keep grinding, keep doing what you're doing, and I love where I'm at personally.
Yep. I'll also shill the fund as well, because we were part of the accelerator Gamma like a year and a half ago, and that was really, really great experience and lots of education. And I mean, like, the world of fundraising is just like such a, like, I don't know, you just like, you have no idea like how to do it. And it's very performative, and it's very everyone sort of like the way that you do well fundraising is to act the way that investors want you to act. It almost doesn't, like, you have to have something meaningful. It's not like you can just, like, you need to have like a real product and company, but like once you have that, which is the hard part, of course, you really just need to be doing what they expect you to do. And if you don't know what they expect you to do, you're sort of like, already starting at such a disadvantage, which is, it's kind of funny the way it works. But I can't say how many times people said, "Wow, you're very well coached," which is just a funny piece of feedback to receive. But it's like obvious that like they're looking for you to act a very specific way, and going into something like an accelerator is a great way. So anyway, you're welcome for the shill. I'll take my
Thanks, Dick. Appreciate it.
You can just send me ordinals, whatever.
We love it, man. Yeah, working with fun, it teaches you a lot of life skills too. Like just like getting. I read a thread like a while back, basically somebody arguing that if you have a Web3 job, it's not good like experience like in the real world or whatever. But it like 100% is. Like I've learned so much about funding, like VCs, LPs, like language. I literally like spent like you were talking about like investors' language. I spent like almost 10 hours just learning to like build LP and investor personas on like who I'm talking to, like what demographic they probably are, what their interests probably are. Do they like pickleball or do they like golf? Why do they like that? You know, do they like coffee or are they crazy and they like decaf or tea or something? You know, like it's crazy. Like once you get into it, it's fun though. But tons of different opportunities. What's that, Bill?
That's an amazing opportunity for anyone who's building in the space.
Absolutely. How's all of the stuff you've been building going, Bill? I still have your T-shirt from last year you gave me at Art Basel with the with XYZ News. Yeah,
I'm so appreciative of that because you like posted it and you wear it every once in a while. It's really cool. You know, I show up every day. I show up every week. I'm hosting the Twitter Spaces every week. I've changed it just a little bit. You know, I do the Spanish and I do the English ones. Spanish, we haven't done it in quite a while just because there's not a lot of people, particularly in Spanish, that are showing up, you know? And so instead, I join other Twitter Spaces, etc. But every week, we just, you know, been doing this already for almost 2 years of doing weekly spaces, showcasing a lot of different people in the space, a lot of leaders, a lot of artists, a lot of founders, etc. Trevor has been on, a lot of people have been on the space. Tomorrow we have OSF. I'm super excited about that. We're also going to be having Roger Dickerman provide an art recap and you know, talk about what's going on in the art scene for everybody. And I do them every week. We've done them. We celebrated the 100th episode of weekly episodes. And so that's what we're doing. That's it so far. And then I'm also, of course, you know, on the NFT Girl side of it, we do super duper art focus on that side. So that, which is always an exciting side of the world, right?
Yeah,
always
absolutely.
Something happening there. Mm-hmm.
I love it. We have maybe like 9 minutes left of this. If you guys just wanted to, as similar to Bell just did, like share anything you're working on or anything you'd like to shill. I think Trevor always says on our show is like, it's not shilling if you're a regular. So feel free.
It's just sharing.
Yeah, it's just sharing.
Sharing is caring. Well, I'd say like it's true. Like it's amazing. You know, just to think, I live in Costa Rica, as I said before, and like, trust me, nobody down here is into crypto. They know Bitcoin, but I'm just saying, like, we are still very, very early in this process of like global penetration. Like, people just really don't get it yet. And so in that way, you know, 30,000 Bitcoin is, you know, you can look at that and say, wow, I'm still really early. So there is, anybody listening, don't think you've missed the boat or you're too late. It's not at all. Not at all. What I've been working on, Emblem Vault, who I work for, you know, we work on cross-chain solutions. So trading your NFTs and assets across blockchains. And we've been migrating all our old asset from an old contract to a new one. So now if you look on OpenSea, you can see Rare Pepes have their own beautiful OpenSea page. And that's been pretty exciting to get. Basically, it's I think the third largest collection on OpenSea. And Rare Pepes, that's my prediction for 2024, is Rare Pepes are going to be the #1 most traded collection on OpenSea. And I'm excited for that. So that's what we're working on.
That's a big claim.
Yeah,
that is a big claim.
Oh, I mean, who doesn't love Rare Pepes? Who doesn't love Rare Pepes? Rare Pepes are it.
It's true.
He's like Babe Ruth calling his shots. I love it.
That's great. Thanks for sharing, Adam. And yeah.
I'll chime in. I'll shill Nick from Gamma's party in Miami.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a
Nice.
huge fan of Gamma's cool the new platform you got with the prints. That's like my favorite thing. I'm with Luxor Ordinal Hub. We do Bitcoin mining stuff, and kind of primitives and tooling in the Ordinals ecosystem. But like, man, if you're watching this, you're like, what do? I feel like I kind of missed out the Ordinals run. Like right now is one of the most exciting times in Bitcoin ever. Yep. All of the cool shit that should have been built on Bitcoin years ago is now back on the menu.
Yes.
And it's like, if I were in crypto and I was like, man, I didn't get any of this like Polygon, fund. I didn't get this. I didn't get that. Like, look at Bitcoin right now, because all the smart people, all the mind share is looking at it right now, and all the cool shit's being built on it. I don't see how it's not the best position to be. And it's, you don't even have to be a Bitcoin OG. I think Bitcoin OGs are actually at a disadvantage right now. I think it's the newcomers to Bitcoin who are like best positioned to take this kind of novel kind of mindset and open attitude they have developed on these other platforms, and look at Bitcoin, learn from it, and then kind of do your own thing. It is just open season in this blockchain.
Totally.
This is kind of random, but
go ahead.
do you know who CleanSpark is?
I know. Yeah, I know. CleanSpark.
I met them last week at the content creators conference that I went to. There wasn't many crypto native people there, and they like came up to me and they're like, "Yeah, we're the third largest Bitcoin miner in America." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
and I thought that was pretty crazy because again, there wasn't many crypto people there, so it was a good conversation.
Yeah, CleanSpark is a great company. They're totally renewable energy. They're one of the best like public faces for Bitcoin mining. And if I don't know if you like care much about the whole mining space at all, but each kind of down cycle, there's a restructuring of how hash rate is owned and distributed and built. And CleanSpark cleaned up this past bear market. So,
that's cool.
Yeah. They're really cool. Like a very attractive, good face of the business right now.
I asked her about Ordinals, and she seemed not like really like, I guess
they're not really, as far as I'm aware, and I feel like I have pretty good insight into this space, they're not really looking at it. There are other public mining companies who are. The ones that have probably issued a press release about maybe doing stuff with us. But I think that's in 6 months to a year from now, it's going to be very different.
Sure. I mean, she was indifferent about it. Like, it wasn't like a negative outlook on Ordinals. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, I know about him. That's pretty much the extent of it.
Dude, the Bitcoin miners is just like different breed of people. I just like, it's hard to tell you that like these people don't care about the internet. Well, they do care about the internet, but they're not online all day. They're not throwing PFPs up. They're like calling their local zoning office to like argue about friggin' like power purchase agreement. That's a different thing. That's a whole different business.
Totally different business.
I got these things right here. This requires a whole different side of the brain. You've got the technical side of the brain and the creative side of the brain. This requires like the minor side of the brain. And so I can talk all about that.
I definitely caught that in the conversation. Sorry to prolong this conversation, but because like I'm not even very technical. Like I'm that very like try to understand it and then like try to deliver like my understanding of it. But like I feel like I got too technical in our conversation to where it lost her. But then she started talking to me about mining stuff, and I have no clue what you're talking about either.
There's a gulf separating these two types of skill sets. And they need to talk to each other. There's like maybe a dozen people who actually understand both sides, and half of them work at Luxor. So like, but I think the incentive is too great. The Ordinals enjoyers are going to learn about Bitcoin mining and block production, and the Bitcoin miners are going to learn about Ordinals and the new frontier for Bitcoin. It's like, it is too perfect of a match made in heaven right now.
Love it, man. Love it. All right, who's next? We got.
I'll go because I got shilled without my awareness, so now I have to return the shill and just thank Charlie so much for committing to do the Sats cards for our event. I'm just like honored. Thank you. You committed to doing that.
500 people. He's gonna load everyone.
Yeah, we have 800 people at the after party. And just like volunteer
I hope
on
you
the
got
show.
the next week free, Charlie. You're fucked.
Really, and we're gonna inscribe the contents of this show so that it can't be contested. So I just really appreciate that. I have to show you. No, I appreciate the call out on Prince. I was gonna, of course, shill prints, because we're just like super thrilled with how it's gone, and the reception, and just like the amazing artists that we've been able to bring on, with prints. For those of you who don't know, it's basically like the Bitcoin version of editions, and there's this concept in Bitcoin of an original, and then you can have recursive editions, and so it sort of beautifully mimics the IRL experience of an original artwork, and then physical prints. So it's kind of like this nice skeuomorphic sort of I think something that maybe like a normie could actually relate to. So and we sort of incentivize amazing artists. It's a curated platform, which is really the first time we've done something curated. But although it's curated and by some of the top artists on Bitcoin and from other chains, it's still accessible. So we sort of encourage the artists to price their prints under $20 in Bitcoin. And actually after the pump, a lot of those are now above $20 in Bitcoin, which is kind of funny, because so we'll have to figure out what to do about that, because it default will now hide those. But yeah, I think that it's been just so amazing to see. And if you haven't checked it out yet, or if you don't have your first ordinal, you are sure to be able to pick up something that is absolutely beautiful, that you will love to hang on to forever, and it will be less than $20.
That's awesome, man. Definitely gonna check that out, and know what you're talking about for the pricing before Bitcoin went up, because we literally announced our pre-sale price for Ninja Alerts in the same day Bitcoin went from like 27, 28 to like 35, and
So bold.
we started
Yeah.
we started the run, I guess, the ninjas. It's awesome. All right, last but not least, Ashley, do you have anything you need to shill?
I don't necessarily have anything that I need to shill. I work a day job. I work for Hello Moon. They're a data infrastructure developer platform. They're mostly Solana, but they do work with Ordinals. So I guess that's the Ordinal shill part of it. And then I just create content. So I don't know. I'm not much of a shiller. I don't have anything to super shill, I guess.
Really awesome content. Go check out Ashley's stuff. She gets tons of engagement. She's funny and educated on all of her videos. So definitely go check her out. Did I see a post about you going to, is there actually like a Sol? I'm not exposed to Solana hardly at all. I have like,
I thought Solana got shut down with this whole FTX.
No.
It's a Bitcoin show.
So mean.
Spreading FUD for no reason.
There's a Solana event called Solana Breakpoint. I'm going to be one of the ambassadors for that event, and so it was a week after the Bitcoin one, which I wish they had just been in the same week. That would have been perfect for me. But basically I'll be shooting some content there, and that's going to be a lot of fun. It's Amsterdam, so it's going to be very interesting. We'll see what happens there.
You say a week after? Isn't that like this week, or when?
I leave, or I get there on the 29th. So it's the 29th through the 5th.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. It's going to be the same place that Bitcoin Amsterdam was?
Yes.
They should just did it like back to back. That would have probably
I know. I really wanted them to do it like in a very similar time, so I could just go to both, because I really wanted to go to the Taproot Wizard stuff, because I'm pretty big into, like, obviously Ninja Alerts and Taproot Wizards. Those are my top right now.
Hey, you heard it from Ashley first. When Taproot, Udi, does anybody up here have connections? Slide into those DMs.
It's been 85 years.
What's he giving away, like one wizard so far? It's ridiculous, man. He's like literally like 2 wizards been given out in 6 months. Come on, Udi.
Well, it's like Bitcoin development. It's in the Bitcoin spirit. It's going to be slow and arduous, and you're going to hate yourself.
Years, bro.
By 2150, the last wizard will be given out.
Exactly. Yeah, they're going to slow drip them. There will only ever be 2100, however many wizards there are. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I had mine pinned for a while, my wizard video, and then I even had the wizard emoji in my name for a long time. So come on, Udi, we're all waiting for you. But anyways,
like a year ago.
Yeah, it felt like it. It felt like a year
Yeah.
ago, but it was also cool because I'm sure you guys can relate. If you made the video, that was like so early in Ordinals that like that video like really had the videos had a lot of weight because it's like we're sitting here grinding for a loud list before like 90% of people even know Ordinals are a thing. So I kind of like it was kind of like a proud stamp on my profile because I think I made that video like February of this year, and like that's still around the time that everybody was like kind of like figuring out, like I think we're still under like 10,000 inscriptions or something like that. Like it was ridiculous how early the Taproot stuff was. So that was fun. But anyways, shout out to this panel, guys. Go follow all of them right there. We appreciate you guys so much. We're doing this every Tuesday and Thursday, the Bitcoin Ordinals Banter, and where we just hang out, banter. Anybody here is welcome back at any point. With the more the merrier. Very roundtable, very banter, and I appreciate you guys. Give all of them a follow. Any final words?
Thank you.
Go Bitcoin, go
Yeah,
Ninja
thank
Alerts.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, go Bitcoin, go.
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
There's a shout out for Ninja Alerts. You guys go check out
Wait,
Ninja
wait,
Alerts.
do we
Snapchat
automatically
comes
get
soon.
a ninja? Do we get a ninja being on the show? Is that an automatic guarantee?
That is a
Like-
great
Yeah,
question,
you have to
Adam.
mail us Sats cards with ninjas on them.
Put him under
Yes.
pressure.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. I wish Trevor was here, man. He'd be able to give you a definitive on that. I'm just you can't shoot the messenger, man.
I
don't
actually
know
like
what
that he's not
Pandora's
here
box
because
I
it
open.
would have been a definitive no.
It
So,
would've been a
so
hard
maybe
no.
it's a yes.
I opened Pandora's box. Holy smokes. Don't
Wait,
let
we'll
me on
just-
the show anymore. I'm going to throw dumb ideas at you.
We'll just do some trading, man. Like we'll get Nick to slide us some passes to the Miami event. You know, we'll get Ashley to get us some Sol NFTs from the Solana event. You know, we'll do some stuff underground. Charlie can just send us all some Bitcoin. He minds it.
Yeah, I'll accept Bitcoin any day.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. I'll catch you guys. We're gonna be live Thursday, same time, and then every Tuesday, Thursday,